Take me on.
Alright, morning everyone. Always nice to have you back for my live broadcast. Today is 19th November 2020, Thursday today, right? Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We have the Pfizer news again yesterday, right? But the US market dropped despite the good news from Pfizer's vaccine. And why is that? Later I will analyze for details. And then also for individual stocks worth attention, Boeing, Tesla, can we buy? And also for Singapore market, we need to keep a close eye on SunPower 5GD, right? And Ifast and DBS, okay? So later I will talk about the details for these individual stocks. And then second part, currently still I'm keeping the individual stock diagnosis section for you. And yesterday after the live broadcast, right, I saw someone left some stocks in the comment zone, right? I already told you if you want me to diagnose the stocks in the live broadcast, you need to WhatsApp me privately to name your stocks, all right? This is my WhatsApp number. So if you leave a comment in the comments zone, I will not be able to diagnose for you the individual stocks. All right, you need to WhatsApp me. I emphasize again. Okay, WhatsApp me, then I will diagnose for you. Okay, so let's begin today's contents. But yeah, I almost forget the disclaimer, right? All stocks mentioned in the video for the purpose of demonstration and education, no recommendation. Investors should be aware of the risks involved in stock trading, take full responsibilities for their own tradings. All right. Okay. So last night we have the U.S. index futures actually went up before the stock market opened, right? So this was stimulated by the Pfizer news. It turned out that Pfizer's vaccine is 95% effective, and this is the final results of the phase 3 trial. Pay attention here. This is the final results, means it is almost 100% confirmed that Pfizer's news is safe and also effective. That is great news, right? And Pfizer also is going to apply for emergency use authorization of its COVID-19 vaccine within days, all right? And then, but it turned out that the news failed to boost the stock market like previously, right? Because the previous two times we have the Pfizer news, initial result for phase 3 turned out to be 90% effective, and then after that we have the Moderna vaccine turned out to be more than 94% effective, and that's the early result for phase 3. And now again we get a final result for Pfizer vaccine turned out to be 95% effective, and this is the final result. The previous two times, boosted by the news, the market went up. But for this time, we know that last night, the US market dipped, right? So why the vaccine news failed to boost the market like the previous two times? Okay, so on one hand, this is because the COVID-19 has become more and more serious in many countries, right? But it would be months away before the vaccine can really reach a lot of people. So means the vaccine news, it is good for long term, but it would not help so much with the current serious COVID-19 situation, which is becoming more and more serious. So that's why the news failed to boost the market like the previous two times. And on the other hand, from the angle of technical analysis, we say a correction for at least a short term is necessary, as the recent rally was too big and too fast in just a too short time. I already mentioned this, right? And this is why the Pfizer news again didn't work very well like the first and the second time, right? And also yesterday I mentioned Powell's speech, right? The speech also full of concerns with the current COVID-19 situation and also the economy recovery speed. So Powell is not as optimistic as some investors, right? And then we know that the market may not may not hold this upward momentum for so long a time. And if we continue to check the performance for the U.S. market last night, for Dow Jones firstly, right? Dow Jones, the drop last night is a very forceful one. Right, okay. This is a very long bearish candle with no lower shadow, very small upper shadow. We can almost call it a bald head and a bald bottom, okay? This usually means very bearish candle pattern. And do you remember I've mentioned about this upward gap? And last night, price already covered this upward gap here and also already below the gap. So means high probability in near future market might further dip, right, to touch the previous bigger upward gap here. This would be the near future strong support level here, right? This is for Dow Jones. And then how about for S&P 500? S&P 500 last night also is a quite long bearish candle here. Price also dropped below the small gap. This is not a very small gap. And then next target level, the price is heading toward here. This is the previous upward gap, and the price got support and turn upward, and now the price seems like it's going to turn downward, right? So next target level is this upward gap here. If the price drop to cover the gap, and then the downward momentum very strong, might continue even dropping further to touch the yellow lines below here, the yellow lines. Or if the level can hold, maybe it will turn upward again. But this long bullish candle last night, the half level here, which is also around the previous small upward gap, roughly the same level, right? This would be a strong resistance in near future. Should there be a rebound here, right? This would be very strong resistance here. Okay, so this is for S&P 500, and then for Nasdaq. Nasdaq, we see the price has never been able to break up the high of the previous yellow Tai Chi, which is also the level of this long bullish candle, the half of this long bearish candle, the half of this long bearish candle, and also the previous high here. This is very strong resistance. Price unable to break up, even with the good news from the vaccines. Right? And then last night, continue dropping. And then next support level, where should be the next support level? The previous gap here, around this level, right? And market might even continue dropping further to touch the yellow lines below here, right? So this is for the US market. If we check the Singapore market, STI, right? STI yesterday, the price already reached the previous yellow Tai Chi signal. We say this is the final defense line, the final resistance level. Once the price can really break up this level, rising space above is quite a big one. But you see, Because last night the market, U.S. market, dropped quite with force, right? So that's a forceful drop last night. So today, this morning when I was checking, SDI also dropped. Let me check the current value. It didn't drop so much. Now the value is around 2,779, right? So where is that? 2,779. It's around here, right? It's around here. Okay, it's around here. The previous Tai Chi signal high level still hanging around the previous Tai Chi. And what would be the future support levels? Support levels I showed you before already, right? And chip distribution, firstly, of course, price might, if really the drop is coming, maybe it would drop to cover the gap, which is around the small yellow Tai Chi. Can you see here is a small yellow doji here. This is the previous yellow Tai Chi. In future, if the price in near future price drop to the level, it will be a strong support because this is around this Tai Chi signal and also the open price of this previous Tai Chi signal. Because the price already break up this level, previously resistance, in future drop to the level again, it would be a support. Means the first support level is around 27,000. And if you check also roughly the same level indicated by the chip distribution, right? You see chip distribution also around the level here. So indicators can verify each other. Means this is significant support in near future should the correction come, right? And next target, firstly, the price should try to cover this upper gap. And this level also overlaps with this long bar of chip distribution, right? So you see, indicators verify each other again. And then next target level, the strongest support should be around here. 2,515 something, 10 something, the bottom of this longest blue bar of chip distribution. Okay, so that's the market let's say outlook for near future, right? Should the correction really come in near future? These are the support levels, significant support levels for the US and for Singapore market. Well, then let's continue to check some individual stocks. All right. So firstly, we have the Boeing news, right? So what's the news? I think you already got the news. The news is that US is going to end the Boeing 737 MAX flight ban after the crash probes. So this definitely is good news for Boeing, and that's why the pre-market price used to rise to a very high level. A gap up open for Boeing last night, right? It's gap up open, but after the market opened, the price continued dropping to give us this long bearish candle here, right? So this candle pattern here is a very bearish pattern because this is called a dark cloud cover. Dark cloud cover, this is a bearish candle pattern, and this long bearish candle in near future would be very strong resistance, especially the half level here, half level of this long bearish candle here. But remember, Boeing is not the first time I talk about Boeing, right? So several days ago, when we were here, right, I already mentioned Boeing because back at that moment I said it because this belongs to the value stocks over let's say oversold already, undervalued. It's undervalued stock, and the pattern here is very beautiful. You remember I mentioned about the candlestick pattern here is beautiful because the previous high volume, the highest volume back on 11th June, on that day the volume is the highest, and the corresponding candle is this one, right? I mentioned this high and low range for this candle here is very strong resistance, and we see the price unable to break up this level for a long time. And just recently, the price was about to break up that level. And that's why I said for this one, maybe it would give us great potentiality in future. That's around which day? Around here, around 13th November, I mentioned it. And then the following day, actually, a gap up open gave us a big rally, more than, as far as I remember, it's more than 8%. It's a big rally on that day, and then continue going up last night. And then, this is the day before yesterday. And then last night, gap up open, all right? Gap up open, and then begin to drop, right? So if you have already paid attention to this one, when I was talking about this one, and you have, let's say, tried to enter when the price break up the previous sideways platform, which is the high of the previous key candle here, corresponding to the largest volume, right? And then for several days, 1, 2, 3 days, you got, for very short-term speculation, this rising space is okay, right? This is good profit. And then last night, when you see the price gap up open, and then continue dropping, for short-term speculation, I believe you already should have taken profit. You should have left, because this kind of buy point, we call it speculative buy points. Of course, it's based on the candlestick pattern, right? The chart pattern here is beautiful. We have big boys in. We have the price break up the sideways platform. And then you enter, make profit here. But if you see stimulated by the news last night, it begin to drop, you definitely should have left when the market was dropping. Because, you know, for short-term speculation, it's not wise to keep holding until now, because I mentioned just now, this is a very bearish pattern, candle pattern for short-term, and the half level here is very difficult for the price to break up again. In near future, the price might be in correction for short-term first. Maybe the price will drop to touch the previous resistance level. Now would be a support, right? Maybe if the price gets support around the level, because this is also, we have a upward gap here. This would be a strong support. If the price gets support, turn upward again, maybe we can consider to buy again. This is for short term, right? Short term speculation. And then when the price reached the half of this yesterday long bearish candle, if price cannot break up, maybe we better leave again. This is for short-term speculation. But if the price can break up the half level here, maybe we can keep holding for a longer time for short-term trading. And then remember, I mentioned Boeing, not only for short-term chances. I mentioned maybe in the long run, right? So it would give us great opportunity. If you want, you already opened the position, right? For medium term to long term, after I talk about this one, right? And then where is your stop loss level? Your final stop loss level can be around, let's say, the open price of this bullish candle here, of this bullish candle. Or if you want to set your stop loss higher, maybe the gap, the bottom of this previous gap. If the price drop below the, if the price drop below the bottom of this previous upward gap here, right? Then you can consider stop loss first. Or your final stop loss level should be around the open price for this bullish candle. Why? Because this is the previous big upward gap here. If the price drop below this top of the previous upward gap here, higher probability might drop even further to cover the gap. Then your loss would be relatively speaking a big one. So better we leave first if really it happened in future, right? But if the correction in near future is stop dropping further around this second upward gap and then turn upward again, for medium term to long term trading, you can safely keep holding of this, all right? Or a drop to the top of this first big upward gap and then turn upward again. You also can hold safely for medium term to long term. Okay, this is for Boeing. Short-term speculation, I hope you already capture the profit, right, for short-term speculation. And for medium-term to long-term holding, if you have opened a position, can keep a close eye on the significant support levels I mentioned here, which would be your stop loss for medium-term to long-term. Okay, and then apart from Boeing, we also have Tesla. Tesla, yesterday I also mentioned, because of the good news that it is going to be added into S&P 500 from since December, right? Next month, December. And before last night, the big 10% rally, the day before yesterday, we see the market open, then drop to touch the downtrend line, which would be, I mentioned yesterday in the noon, right? This would be support. And then if the price it never drop below the support here and then begin to go up, you actually can buy, right? You actually can buy. So means yesterday when the market opened and then continue going up, you should have been able to buy earlier. Of course, if you buy until the market is about to close, that's too late. That's already after a rally for 10%, right? So you should have been able to bought earlier because you already got prepared. It may give you the chance. And then when the market open and upward momentum quite strong, it continue going up, you buy earlier. Or you already can, let's say, queue in ahead of time. Let's say you queue in the open price of this previous day's bearish candle. Open price is around $460.17, right? You queue in your buy price at $460.17. When the market went up to reach that level, your order would be down automatically. So market closed at $486.64. So it will be so easy for you to make this profit for 48. Okay, so that's how much? Last night's open price 460 and yesterday open price 486. So means you can very safely secure the $26 US dollar profit last night, right? But if you want to chase after it after last night, that may not be that wise. If you have bought in time, ahead of time, then that will be very great for you. Actually, I have one member who already entered the day before. When the market open, gap up open, then begin to drop. Already he entered. Of course, the enter price for this member is around the open price. When the market immediately opened the day before yesterday, he already entered, right? I said that it may not be very safe, right? So it will be better that when you see the market stop dropping further at the support and then turn upward again, you buy, it will be safer. But still, he has managed to enter ahead of time. Of course, he has taken some risks, uncertainties. It's maybe the better strategy would be yesterday, last night you buy after the market open and continue going up, you queue in around the open price of the day before yesterday candle. That would be the best, all right? And then the next target, if the price is going to is continue going up, right? So firstly, the price need to take the previous high the Tai Chi signal, the yellow Tai Chi signal, the high price is $479, around $500, right? So around 480, right? So around $480. So the previous high, that's the immediate resistance. Yesterday, the price didn't really break up. If the price can break up the yellow Tai Chi signal, the high here, might continue going up in future, in near future at least. So this one, I hope you have safely captured the opportunity in time. All right, this is for Boeing. And then for the Singapore market, right? Singapore market. Yesterday I spotted that SunPower, right? SunPower gave us the first red circle again yesterday. All right, this is SunPower. Yesterday, first red circle, and today, actually the market opened around the close price yesterday, and until now, there's already a confirmation to buy, right? This is for short term. But if we check the stock reality for SunPower, stock reality here, I mean the characteristic of the regularities of the stock's previous price movement. Because for this share, you see, every time it turned to Y circle, right? It didn't drop that much. It just sideways and then turned to red circle again and then go up. You see, for many times, you see this time, big drop for one day, but after that, the market didn't drop much. It just sideways there and then turned to red circle again. And this time, turned to Y circle and then didn't drop much, just sideways. And also this time, you see, it turned to Y circle, it didn't drop and then go up again. So for this share, I mean, it will be even better if you can hold for medium term to long term. I'm not saying that you buy now and then hold for medium term to long term. I'm saying that in future, if there is another correction, when the price can really touch the yellow lines of homely rainbow, we are low, at a lower position after correction, maybe you buy and hold for a longer time, not just a short-term trading. For short-term, you follow the red and white circle, still you can make some profit, right? But this is not a way to maximize your profit for SunPower, because for SunPower, the pattern is like this. Usually the rally for short-term, after it finished, the price would drop maybe, then sideways, drop sideways. So you keep buy and sell, it will be quite troublesome. And your profit is not very, very big one. You can keep some profit, you can get some profit, but may not be that big. In one word, in conclusion, the rally for SunPower is not a very fast one. It's a slow rally, right? So if it go up slowly, so better we hold for longer time. That would be the best to maximize our profit, right? So for this rally, but of course, if you prefer short-term trading and you already know the feature, after a rally here, the correction maybe would last for a long time and would sideways for a long time, then you can leave earlier than the circle turn color to white. But this is for pure speculation and really requires experience and requires that you are very proficient with the homely indicators. All else, better not to try it. It's not suitable for beginners, all right? And then the other one is Ifast, right? Ifast, I have been talking about this stock for several times recently. Almost every day I talk about Ifast. This maybe can give you some a general idea how to follow the software indicator to buy and sell. So remember, the first day we have the first red circle. I mentioned this may have opportunity, but I also told you already, the confirmation to buy is the closing price should be higher than the high of the first red circle. So the following day, the market keep dropping, so we don't have the confirmation. And yesterday also we don't have confirmation, right? Yesterday we also don't have confirmation, and then that's already today. Today we see the price already touched the circle. Red circle here is acting as the support. It is the support, all right? But can we buy immediately? So if you want to buy very safely, you wait until the price can really break up the high of the first red circle, right? And then if you don't want to wait until the price break up the high, you want to buy earlier, right? You can check the mini chart, but the precondition is you need to set your stop loss. Maybe you would fail. You need to get prepared that for the possibility that you might fail. If the price cannot break up the high, this might not be a successful attempt to go up, all right? And then how to check the mini charts? You can check 30-minute chart and 60-minute chart, all right? Let me remove the rainbow first. 60-minute chart, you see it's still white circle. At least we wait until in the 60-minute chart, the circle turned red, right? And also by checking deviation expert, we will be able to know the money flow. Now it's still outflow. Money is still flowing out, no inflow. If the bar turned red, means money begin to flow in. So you see money flow in, the price go up. Money flow out, the price drop. So in future, if we turn to red circle in the 60-minute chart, and then money begin to flow in, maybe you can try. But when would that be? You can check the 30-minute chart to find the answer. Then in the 30-minute chart, it's still also white circle. If in the 30-minute chart, it turned to red circle, right? First red circle in the 30-minute chart, and then in the 30-minute chart, we get confirmation, means the second candle, the close price higher than the first red circle candle. That's the confirmation to buy in the 30-minute chart. Then we can go back to check the 60-minute chart. So if it already turned to red circle, right? Then that's the time. That's the timing we can consider to buy before the price really break up the high of the first red circle candle in the daily chart. All right, so this is for some trading skills during the trading slot, right? So maybe for beginners, you might find it a bit difficult to handle, but it doesn't matter. In future, if you join Homely member, I can teach you how to do it hand by hand, all right? And this is for Ifast. And then finally, I want to talk about DBS. Actually, it's not only DBS. I'm talking about all those blue chips who had been quite strong recently, give you the big rally recently. DBS, the other two banks, UOB, OCBC, and also UOL, Thai Beverage, Genting, all these blue chips have sold recently, right? So how to deal with them? I'm taking DBS as an example, all right? So if you check this small blue bottle here, it's called dynamic chips, right? So dynamic chips, if you check here, the day before yesterday, and the day before yesterday, can you see the chip? The color is red, right? And the day before, that's yellow. When you see the color turn from yellow to red, means the market is already overbought. Overbought means possible correction might come. Okay, then when would it really begin to come? The correction for short term at least. That's when the color of dynamic chip turn from red to yellow again. So yesterday, actually, after the doji, the color already turned to yellow. Okay, let me repeat again. If the color previously is yellow, means it's normal rise. If it turned to red, means it's overbought. Overbought means possible correction, at least for short term. And when would the correction really come? When the color changed to yellow, right? When the color changed to yellow, and also when the close price dropped below the low price of the candle, when the color changed to yellow. So let's say here, this is still red, right? And the following day, it changed to yellow. So this is the key candle. This small doji here is the key candle. If tomorrow the price dropped below the low of this candle, that's the confirmation for the short-term correction. But for the previous time, the price didn't drop below the low of the key candle. Rather, it continued going up, right? And then the day before yesterday already turned to red again, and yesterday turned to yellow, right? So this means today, if the price dropped below the low of yesterday candle, we already can sell. And then if you check the price for DBS today, you see now already below, right? Already below the, up until now, the price is below the low price of yesterday. If the market closed today, the price still remain below the low of the yesterday candle. That's already confirmation that for short term, the correction, higher probability would come. This is how we can safely secure the profit for short-term trading recently for blue chips like DBS. For the other stocks, you can handle in the same way, all right? You can handle in the same way. But there are too many, I cannot, let's say, analyze them one by one for you. Okay, so for Homely members, you can use these dynamic chips to find the sell points for these blue chips like DBS yourself to check the software, right? Okay, so that's all I want to share for today. Have you sent me stocks to diagnose today? You got any stock to diagnose today? Okay, so there is one stock, 7130, right? So 7130. This is a Malaysia stock, right? Wow, this one has been quite bullish recently, right? This is a quite bullish stock. And if we check red RMI circle, the first red circle, that's early this month. And then the confirmation, when do we have the confirmation to buy? First red circle, the following day, it's not the confirmation. The third day, market open and continue going up. That's the confirmation. You can buy earlier this day. No need to buy until the market close. That's already very high. You chase after the rally, that may not be in your best favor. All right. So market open this day, and later you can buy. Slightly after the market open, you can buy, and then that's until now, right? So until now, it's still red circle, right? So if you do the normal trading, you follow the red circle, you actually can keep holding. As long as it's red circle, you keep holding. In future, turn to white circle, you sell. That's the easiest way. And also, the success rate for this method is very high. You always can secure some profit, but maybe it's not the most of the profit. It's not all of the profit. Your sell point might be slightly lower than the real high, but still you can copy. If you can copy a method to make profit constantly, you will be the biggest winner. But if you don't have your own trading principles, right, and then you just buy and sell based on some luck or some other people's advices or tips, news, then you'll find that this time you can make profit, the next time you might lose them all. You might lose even more of your capitals. So that's how important it is to follow a effective trading system, to follow a trading system which is replicable. That's very important. All right, and this is for 7130. Do we have some other stock to check? Oh, there's one other guy asked about Goldman Sachs, because previously I talked about Goldman Sachs, right? Because this one I mentioned is the most beautiful US bank stock. Goldman Sachs, GS. Oh yes, it has been quite stable, right? So it has been quite stable after the price break up the sideways platform. Have you bought it? Based on my previous videos, you bought it? If in that case, then if you intending to open position for medium term to long term, right? So actually you can safely hold as long as the price remain above this top of the previous sideways platform. Even if in near future the price drop, if can remain above the level, you can hold. If the price continue dropping to cover the gap here, then this is the gathering area for the homely rainbow 16 lines, right? So this gathering area should be very strong support, and it will be very difficult for the price to really drop below this gathering area. All right, so this means this would be your final stop loss for medium term to long term trading. I mentioned for banks, maybe it can not give you a very big rally for just a short time, like the high techs, like Tesla, or like previously NIO, yeah, but they can be quite safe, quite stable. The volatility would be smaller than those stocks. So banks will be the best choice to hold for medium term to long term if it really turn to a bullish market. And now we see we are turning from the medium term to long term bearish to bullish. All right. So that would be a very good for you to hold for medium term to long. Okay. So this is for Goldman Sachs. So seems like we only have these two shares to check today, right? Okay, that's great. And before we finish, right? So don't forget to give me thumb ups. I always need your support. And also don't forget to share my video with your friends. Okay, so if more and more people can come and join us. And then I will have a greater motivation to produce more and more splendid contents. So I guess that's all for today. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.